All right, this what had happened was Donald Trump says, you know what? Yes, I did take classified envelopes, but not classified documents. That must be the mistake here. I kid you not. Let's go to the first graphic of his meltdown. Page 1 says, the fake news media and crooked Democrats, that's been proven, keep saying I had a large number of documents in order to make the Biden classified documents look less significant. When I was in the Oval Office or elsewhere and papers were distributed to groups of people and me, they would often be in a striped paper folder with classified or confidential or another word on them. When the session was over, they would collect the papers, but not the folders. And I saved hundreds of them. Now, it continues, all right? So Donald Trump is saying that yes, I stole classified folders, but I did not steal those classified documents. They must have put that in there later. All right, President Donald Trump floated a new and seemingly absurd defense for the hundreds of classified documents retrieved from his Mar-A-Lago residence a year and a half after leaving the White House. According to the former president, he did not actually keep the many documents reported to have been retrieved, but he just kept the empty folders that the documents came in because they were a cool keepsake. Yes, that's really what the man said on TruthSocial Wednesday morning. Now, if you are still the defense attorney for Donald Trump, this is a remarkable day for you. It's called billable hours. Understand this, Donald Trump has increased your workload by roughly maybe 40 to 50,000 hours. Good for you all. Somebody got to win here. All right, let's put up the second part of his post. It says, page 2. Remember, these were just ordinary, inexpensive folders with various words printed on them, but they were a cool keepsake. Perhaps the Gestapo took some of these empty folders when they raided Mar-A-Lago and counted them as a document, which they are not. It's also possible that the Trump-hating Marxist thugs in charge will plant documents while they're in possession of the material. As president and based on the Presidential Record Act and SOX case, I did nothing wrong. Joe did. Well, no, actually, if we utilize what you just recommended here, Mr. Former President, it's Joe Biden who has done nothing wrong because intent is required. And if it was a mistake, then he's off the hook according to your theory. But also, here's the thing, Mr. Former President, you continue to come up with various defenses to one particular allegation. The allegation is you stole classified information. Initially, you released an official statement about what really happened. And this came in 2022. Here it is, Fox News.
This is from President Trump's office. It just came in a few minutes ago. As we can all relate to, everyone ends up having to bring home their work from time to time. American presidents are no different. President Trump, in order to prepare the work the next day, often took documents, including classified documents, to the residence. He had a standing order, there's the word I've been looking for, that documents removed from the Oval Office and taken to the residence were deemed to be declassified the moment he removed them. The power to classify and declassify documents rests solely with the President of the United States. The idea that some paper-pushing bureaucrat with classification authority delegated by the president needs to approve the declassification is absurd.
The man was president for 4 years and still does not know how it worked. No, the president is not the only entity that can classify and declassify. As a matter of fact, once again, Donald Trump is not accused of stealing simply classified information, but SAP classified information, which stands for Special Access Programs. You have 2 tracks. You have acknowledged and unacknowledged special access programs. Well, those programs are so highly classified that even the CIA director or the DNI director cannot get access to these programs unless there's a bureaucratic process and proven need to know basis. So let's count the ways here. Donald Trump first said, well, I already had those top secret documents at the house because I just took it home to work on classified documents. Do you really think he worked on classified documents? The man would not even read a classified briefing in the morning time. He had Mike Pence read his briefings. And then, according to members of the executive national intelligence team, they had to put pictures inside of the briefing because he refused to read. He just wanted pictures and he wanted a quote. That's it. That's all he wanted. Mike Pence did the actual reading, according to everybody that came out of the White House. But that's one excuse. The documents were already there. The second, based on Trump's own words, is that there was a standing order to declassify anything that he just decided to steal. Okay, well, somebody does have to recognize the standing order. Somebody does have to corroborate that order, and nobody did. But if that is your affirmative defense, why would now the defense be that actually they took envelopes that had words on them, and some of those words may have been classified, or words like confidential, but they had words on them, and maybe they put the classified documents inside of the envelopes after they took the envelopes. There it is. That's the one. You see, Mr. Former President, here's what you're doing. You are offering public commentary about your guilt or innocence. Guess what? That's going to make it into a court of law, all right? Because it goes to your credibility and also to what's germane to the case. Did you knowingly steal these classified documents? Your multiple stories of cover up is what we call evidence of a guilty conscience. Man, your attorneys are gonna get paid. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Well, my first thought, well, they keep changing because when you talked about how they had to set up the briefings with pictures, my daughter loves these graphic novels, these graphic books, and I get them for her. But the teacher, we had to remind her that there's need to be more words, Dr. Richey, on the page, just for her education. She can look at the pictures too, but you can't just go around only looking at pictures. The other thing is, you're right. The Fox News explanation to me was almost as goofy as the empty envelopes keepsake explanation. Okay, because we know you weren't doing any work at home. Stop it. Okay, you just go on and stop it here. But I just wonder when the lie is up. I remember in middle school, Dr. Richey, I penciled in, I made a D a B, and my mother caught it right away, of course. My mother's a teacher. And she said, do you wanna come clean? This went on for about a week till she could get up to the school. And I said, go ahead, go to the school. Okay, I don't remember what happened when I got home, and that tells you everything you need to know.
There it is, all right. Yep, I know how that is.